I found there was an emptiness. I needed to sort of focus on not what I wasn't doing, but what I was doing.
You have a need to go out and engage with people, more than I do. I mean, I see people socially. I play squash and I go out drinking with people, but you still have that need to engage.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was one of my fears as well about when we both, well, I'm more or less fully retired now, but I'm kind of semi-retired. I'm doing the odd bit of training in interpersonal skills. And I was a bit worried about what would happen because Chris doesn't like talking a lot and I like talking a lot. I think what makes it work best, we discussed this the other day, was just like accepting that the other person isn't going to be all that you want them to be. They never were, but especially in retirement with that sort of space, you really have to be, make sure you're not expecting too much of them and just accept them to be different and want different things.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's about getting the balance right between the amount of time you spend together and the amount of time you spend doing things separately, because you can't be together the whole time. You just drive each other mad. But at the same time, if you spend too much time doing your own things, there's a danger you can just kind of drift apart and disconnect. So it's just getting that balance right, I think, is the most important thing.
Yeah. And Chris is really good because he's quite disconnected in a way, so he is aware of that. So, like for example, if I'm in the garden, what I'd really like is to be with somebody. Like my friend, when she comes, we do gardening together, or we do cooking together. Whereas Chris, whatever he does on his own. So he's very much a loner. So he makes sure that now, because I've got so much more time doing this, that he'll come and connect, and he makes lunch, and then he calls me and says, right, it's lunch now, or we go walk the dog every day or every other day together and stuff like that. And like when he was just down in Wales doing the barn a couple of weeks ago, he said, 3 days is maybe too many apart. So I said, okay, so next time you go down and do the barn, I'll leave the veggies and come with you. So we're very aware of having to, like you say, make a balance. And
the first time I stopped working after I got my redundancy, I thought it was going to be great, and Avril was still running the charity at that time, so she was still full on highly stressed and stuff, and I felt guilty that I was sitting around the house all day. Well, I wasn't sitting around in the house all day, so I used to set myself all these ridiculous, unrealistic targets, like clean all the windows upstairs and do it. So I got myself in a right old state, just trying to justify my existence. And I got more stressed out than I had been at work, so that's one of the reasons why I actually went back to work for part-time.
But always make sure there's a something, so instead of there being not work or not paid work, there is now travelling or growing vegetables or raising with ducks and chickens and things, and there's those things, so you focus on what there is, not what there isn't, and that was really quite useful. We've always been very indulgent of each other and accepting really of our differences, because we are very different, different. And and we knew that right from the start, that Chris was a person who wasn't really a people person and I was a very people person. So we knew that we were never going to quite match in that way, and indeed we didn't. So there were times when I was really quite lonely, especially when we came here and with a child and so on. But I built that up by my job really, and I met lots of people through my job. But so yeah, we were a bit anxious about what it would be like when we were more time together. But so far it's been a lot better. But we're aware all the time that you need to keep working on it, keep talking, keep making sure that there's time together, time apart, that there's not too much time apart. So I've changed as well, that insofar as I've enjoyed being on my own more. So I've gotten used to gardening on my own more. Although I like it when my friend comes and does it with me, or comes and cooks with me or whatever. I've actually gotten used to spending more time alone, and it's okay. You know, it's like I don't have to talk all the time. I really don't.
I think just making sure that we've both still got things in our lives that engage us and you know, keep us wanting to do stuff, and I guess at some point grandchildren will be the major focus. Well, I hope so.